All right, so today we are going to really dive deep into the Kybalion. It's
That'd be good.
we're going to explore the core principles of uh hermetic philosophy and stuff.
Right.
Um you're probably already familiar with this ancient wisdom,
Yeah.
but we're going way beyond the basics today.
Okay.
Think of it as a master class in hermeticism, with insights that might even surprise those of you who've been studying it for a while.
Yeah, it's fascinating how this text, with its roots in ancient Egypt,
Mhm.
claims to hold the keys to understanding not just the world, but the very fabric of reality.
Exactly. It's not just some dusty old book. This
Yeah,
stuff is really potent.
for sure.
And we're going to unpack these 7 hermetic principles
Okay.
in a way that connects them to your life
Right.
and maybe even unlocks some new levels of understanding.
Absolutely. And we'll delve into how these principles can be used for personal transformation.
Okay.
Not just understanding them,
Right.
but actually putting them into practice.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's start with the first principle, mentalism.
Okay.
It's this mind-blowing idea that everything we experience as physical reality is actually a product of mind,
Right.
a creation of what the Kybalion calls the all-all.
Think of it this way.
Okay.
When you imagine something, you're creating a mental image, right?
Yeah.
Well, mentalism suggests that on a cosmic scale,
Okay.
the entire universe is a mental creation of the all, this infinite living mind.
Whoa, so our thoughts really do create reality.
It's definitely a connection worth exploring.
Yeah.
Hermetic philosophy posits that the foundation of reality is mental,
Okay.
and the physical world is simply a manifestation of that mental realm.
So it's not that the physical world is an illusion.
Right.
It's that there's this deeper mental level where everything originates.
Precisely.
Okay.
And if everything is fundamentally mental,
Yeah.
then what possibilities does that open up for us in terms of shaping our own experiences?
Mm-hmm.
That's a question we'll be diving deeper into as we go.
Okay, so mentalism basically flips the script on how we usually see the world.
Yeah.
What about the principle of correspondence? I always hear that phrase, as above, so below, but what does it actually mean?
It points to the interconnectedness of everything in the universe.
Okay.
There are universal laws and patterns that repeat across all levels of existence.
Okay.
The laws of physics we observe here on Earth, for example,
Right.
apply to distant galaxies too.
So it's like a universal blueprint that scales up and down?
Exactly.
Okay.
And that gives us a powerful tool.
Yeah.
If we can understand how something works on one level,
Right.
it can give us insights into how it might work on other levels.
Okay.
For instance, the structure of an atom resembling a miniature solar system.
I see. So by studying the microcosm, we can learn about the macrocosm.
Right.
That's pretty mind-blowing. Okay, what about the third principle? Vibration, right? But isn't that just basic physics? Everything's made of atoms?
Yeah.
Atoms are always moving?
It's true that modern science acknowledges everything vibrates. But Hermetic philosophy goes deeper.
Okay.
It suggests that the rate and mode of vibration determine the form and properties of things.
Uh-huh.
Even things that appear solid and unmoving are actually vibrating at a specific frequency.
Well, then you're saying there's more to vibration than just atoms bouncing around?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Think about it.
Yeah.
In some Hermetic practices, they use specific sounds and chants to alter their vibration.
Oh, wow.
It's not just a theoretical concept. They actually work with vibration directly.
So they're actually manipulating energy through sound? That's taking it to a whole other level.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this principle suggests that our thoughts, emotions, even our physical well-being are influenced by vibrations.
When you think about it, emotions definitely have their own energy, their own vibe.
Right.
Anger feels different from joy, not just mentally, but physically too.
That's a great observation.
Yeah.
And that's where the power of this principle comes in.
Okay.
If we can understand and control our own vibrational frequencies, we can potentially change our mental and emotional states
Mm-hmm.
and even influence our physical health.
So we're not just victims of our circumstances, we can shift our own energy.
Right.
This is starting to sound a lot like modern energy healing modalities.
Yeah.
All right, on to principle number 4. What have we got?
This one is the principle of polarity.
Okay.
It might seem counterintuitive at first,
Okay.
but it states that everything has two poles,
Okay.
two seemingly opposite aspects.
Right.
However, those opposites are actually just different degrees on the same spectrum.
Okay, I think I get that.
Okay.
Hot and cold, they seem totally opposite.
Right.
But really, they're just different levels of temperature on the same scale.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the Kybalion gives other examples, like love and hate or light and darkness.
Yeah.
They're not separate entities, but rather varying intensities of the same underlying principle.
So if opposites are actually connected, what does that mean for us?
The Kybalion suggests that by understanding this principle, we can consciously shift our mental and emotional states. For example, if you're feeling down, instead of resisting that feeling, you can acknowledge it as part of a spectrum and consciously shift your focus towards the opposite pole, feelings of joy or gratitude.
Wait, so you're saying we don't have to fight negative emotions, we can just like ride them out like a wave?
It's not about ignoring or suppressing negative emotions, but rather understanding that they're part of a larger spectrum. And we have the power to navigate that spectrum consciously.
That's a game changer.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm seeing how these principles are starting to connect to each other. So we've got mentalism, correspondence, vibration, and polarity.
Yes.
What's next? This is getting good. Okay, I'm ready for principle number 5. What's the deal with rhythm?
The principle of rhythm builds on the concept of polarity. It observes that everything flows in cycles, a constant swing between extremes. Like a pendulum.
So like the tides coming in and out or the seasons changing?
Exactly. Those are perfect examples. But this principle goes beyond natural phenomena. Economic cycles, the rise and fall of civilizations, even the ups and downs of our own moods. It's all governed by rhythm.
So are you saying we're all just along for the ride on this cosmic roller coaster? No way to get off.
Well, here's where it gets interesting. The Kybalion teaches that Hermetic masters have learned to neutralize the negative effects of these swings on their own lives. They understand that by mastering the principle of rhythm, they can ride the waves, so to speak, instead of being tossed around by them.
So they're not denying the natural cycles, but they're learning to work with them. To like surf those cosmic waves. That sounds like a skill worth developing.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when it comes to those emotional ups and downs.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's 5 principles down, 2 to go. What's next?
The principle of cause and effect.
This
one is all about challenging the notion of chance or luck. It states that nothing happens randomly. Every effect has a cause, and every cause has an effect.
Hold on. If everything is cause and effect, doesn't that make free will an illusion?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And one that philosophers have been grappling with for centuries. The Kybalion suggests that while we're bound by universal laws, we also have the potential to become causers rather than just effects. It's about understanding those laws and using them to our advantage.
So we're not just pawns in the game. We can become players who understand the rules and can make strategic moves. I like that. But it still feels kind of tricky. Like, how do we know we're not just fooling ourselves into thinking we have free will?
That's the paradox, isn't it? And perhaps that's where the real power lies. In embracing the mystery and acknowledging that we may never fully understand the interplay of free will and universal law. But the principle encourages us to take responsibility for our actions. To recognize that our choices do have consequences, and to strive to become conscious creators of our own lives.
I can see how that perspective could be really empowering.
Absolutely.
All right, we've covered 6 principles now. And they've all been pretty mind-bending. What's the last one?
The final principle can be a bit tricky. The principle of gender.
Gender, isn't that like a social construct? How does that fit in with all this talk of universal laws and cosmic principles?
You're right. Gender, as we understand it in society, is a social construct. But the Kybalion isn't talking about gender in that sense. It's referring to a fundamental duality of creative energies that exists on all planes of existence.
So it's more like yin and yang, masculine and feminine energies.
Exactly. Think of it as a creative force. With the feminine principle as the source of energy. And the masculine principle as the directing force.
So it's not about biological sex. But about these 2 fundamental forces that are always interacting, always creating. The Kybalion even uses the example of electrical phenomena to illustrate this principle. The feminine is likened to the source of electrical energy.
while the masculine is the directing force that channels that energy.
I see. So it's like two sides of the same coin working together.
Right.
And you're saying this applies to our minds as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The conscious mind is considered the masculine principle.
Right.
The directing will, while the subconscious mind is the feminine principle.
Right.
The receptive and generative aspect.
So it's like this constant dance between the conscious and the subconscious, the will and the intuition.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
And understanding this interplay of creative energies can give you deeper insights into your own mental and emotional processes.
Okay, so we've covered all 7 principles. Mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender.
Yes.
And I have to say, this has been one wild ride so far.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff.
But we're not done yet, right? We still need to talk about mental transmutation.
Right.
That's supposed to be like the heart of Hermetic practice.
You're absolutely right.
Okay.
Now that we've laid the foundation with the 7 Hermetic principles, we can delve into the practice of mental transmutation.
Okay, cool.
It's considered the art of changing your mental states.
Okay.
And ultimately your external reality by understanding and utilizing the mental laws of the universe.
Wait, are you saying we can literally change our reality just by changing our thoughts?
It's not about denying reality or pretending that things are different than they are.
Okay.
It's about understanding the true nature of reality as a mental creation.
Right.
And learning to consciously work with those mental laws that govern our experience.
No, it's like we're upgrading our mental operating system.
Yeah.
Learning to use the power of our minds in a more deliberate and effective way.
Exactly.
Okay.
The Kybalion teaches that by understanding the principles we've just discussed, we can learn to transmute negative mental states into positive ones.
Right.
And thereby influence our external circumstances.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued.
Good.
But before we get into the how-to of mental transmutation, I want to go back to that mind-blowing concept of the all.
Okay.
The Kybalion calls it the ultimate reality.
Right.
But also says it's unknowable.
Right.
How can something be both real and unknowable?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it leads us into the heart of Hermetic philosophy.
Okay.
Think of the all as the source of everything.
Okay.
An infinite, eternal mind that transcends our limited human understanding.
So like the ultimate cosmic consciousness, the source code of reality.
You could say that.
Okay.
The Hermetic teaching suggests that we can't truly comprehend the all with our finite minds.
Okay.
But we can still experience its presence in everything around us.
Right.
It's like trying to understand the vastness of the ocean by studying a single drop of water.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if the all created the universe, and the universe is mental, does that mean the universe is just an illusion? Like, are we all just living in the Matrix?
That's where the idea of the divine paradox comes in.
Okay.
From the absolute viewpoint of the all, the universe might be considered an illusion compared to its own infinite reality.
Right.
But from our limited relative viewpoint as humans, the universe is very real.
Right.
We experience it through our senses. We interact with it. It shapes our lives.
So it's all about perspective. From the ultimate perspective, it's all an illusion.
Yeah.
But from our human perspective, it's as real as it gets. That's a pretty mind-bending concept.
It is. And the key takeaway here is that while it's important to understand the ultimate nature of reality, we should also engage with life fully.
Okay.
And use the laws of the universe to our advantage.
Right.
It's like we can ponder the mysteries of the universe.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't forget to live our lives here and now.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's not about getting lost in abstract concepts.
Right.
But about using this knowledge to empower our lives.
Exactly.
Okay.
And speaking of practical application,
the
Kybalion offers some insightful axioms that can help us navigate this paradoxical reality.
Okay, I'm all about actionable advice.
Okay, good.
Let's hear some of these axioms.
One that I think is particularly relevant, given your enthusiasm for self-improvement, is to change your mood or mental state, change your vibration.
Okay.
Remember the principle of vibration we discussed.
Yeah.
This axiom suggests that you have the power to shift your emotional state by consciously changing your vibration.
So if I want to change my reality, I need to start by changing my vibration. Right. But it can't just be surface level, right? It has to be a deep, genuine shift.
You're absolutely right.
Okay.
It's not just about positive thinking or affirmations.
Right.
It's about aligning our thoughts and actions with the principles of the universe.
Okay.
About becoming conscious creators of our own reality.
And that's where the other principles come in.
Yes.
Polarity helps us shift from negative to positive states.
Exactly.
Rhythm helps us navigate the ups and downs of life.
Right.
And cause and effect reminds us that we have the power to choose our actions and create the outcomes we desire.
Exactly. Mental transmutation is about taking responsibility for our own mental and emotional states.
Okay.
And understanding that our thoughts and beliefs have a powerful impact on our experiences.
It's almost like the Kybalion is giving us a blueprint for personal transformation.
Right.
And spiritual growth.
Exactly.
This ancient wisdom can be applied to modern life in such profound ways.
And the beauty is,
yeah,
it's a lifelong journey of discovery.
Right.
The Kybalion is just the starting point.
Okay.
The more you explore these principles and put them into practice, the more you'll unlock your own potential. And create a life that's aligned with your truest self.
This deep dive has been incredible.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I feel like I've been given a whole new set of tools to understand the world and my place in it.
Right.
And as you continue your exploration of Hermetic philosophy, I encourage you to contemplate this question.
Okay.
If the universe is mental, as the Kybalion suggests, what power does that give you over your own life and experiences?
That is the question.
That's a question I'm definitely going to be pondering.
I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you so much for guiding us through this fascinating exploration of the Kybalion.
My pleasure.
It's been truly enlightening.
It's fascinating stuff.
And to all our listeners, we hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the heart of Hermetic philosophy.
Right.
Until next time, keep seeking knowledge. And keep exploring the power of your own mind.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, as we're talking about all this stuff, one thing that really stands out to me is this idea that the all, isn't separate from us. It's not this distant, abstract force, but rather something that's immanent within everything in the universe, including ourselves.
That's a beautiful insight.
Yeah.
The Kybalion emphasizes that we all contain a spark of the divine within us.
Right.
We're not just separate beings trying to connect to something bigger.
Right.
We're already part of that bigger something.
So it's like the all is both the whole ocean and a single drop of water at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that realization can be incredibly empowering.
Yeah.
Because it means we all have access to this infinite source of wisdom and power.
Wow, that really puts things into perspective.
Right. Okay, so we've talked about the 7 principles and this mind-blowing concept of the all.
Yes.
But how does it all come together in practice?
Right.
How do we actually do this mental transmutation thing?
It starts with understanding and internalizing the mental laws of the universe.
Okay.
As outlined in the Kybalion.
Okay.
The principle of vibration, for instance, teaches us that everything is energy. And we can change our energy by changing our thoughts and emotions.
So if I want to change my reality, I need to start by changing my vibration.
Exactly.
But it can't just be surface level, right?
Right.
It has to be a deep, genuine shift.
You're absolutely right.
Okay.
It's not just about positive thinking or affirmations.
Right.
It's about aligning our thoughts and actions with the principles of the universe.
Okay.
About becoming conscious creators of our own reality.
And that's where the other principles come in.
Yes.
Polarity helps us shift from negative to positive states.
Rhythm helps us navigate the ups and downs of life.
Exactly.
And cause and effect reminds us that we have the power to choose our actions and create the outcomes we desire.
Exactly. Mental transmutation is about taking responsibility for our own mental and emotional states.
Okay.
And understanding that our thoughts and beliefs have a powerful impact on our experiences.
It's almost like the Kybalion is giving us this blueprint for personal transformation and spiritual growth.
It is, yeah.
This ancient wisdom can be applied to modern life in such profound ways.
And the beauty is it's a lifelong journey of discovery.
Yeah.
The Kybalion is just the starting point.
Right.
The more you explore these principles and put them into practice, the more you'll unlock your own potential.
Right.
And create a life that's aligned with your truest self.
This deep dive has been incredible. I feel like I've been given a whole new set of tools to understand the world.
I'm so glad to hear that.
And my place in it.
That's great.
And for anyone listening out there who's maybe just starting to explore this, as you continue your exploration of Hermetic philosophy, I encourage you to contemplate this question.
Okay.
If the universe is mental, as the Kybalion suggests.
Yes.
What power does that give you over your own life and experiences?
That's the question.
That's a question I'm definitely going to be pondering.
Good.
Thank you so much for guiding us through this fascinating exploration of the Kybalion.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
It's been truly enlightening.
It is fascinating stuff.
And to all our listeners, thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thanks for joining us.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the heart of Hermetic philosophy.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep seeking knowledge and keep exploring the power of your own mind.